Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that I've learned in this life. Success is not magic, and it's not luck. It's about doing certain things every single day without fail until they become who you are. The difference between people who succeed and people who just dream about success is that the successful ones work on themselves every single day. And I don't mean just when they feel like it. I'm talking about every day, whether it's raining, snorting, or the sun is shining bright. Consistency builds the life you want. Your mind is the steering wheel of your life. And every single thing you do, every choice you make, every path you take starts in your mind before it ever becomes reality. I've met people with incredible talent, people with all the skills in the world, people who had doors wide open in front of them, and yet they never made it anywhere because their thinking was messed up. You can't expect a great life when your mind is filled with doubt, fear, and negativity. See, the problem is a lot of people wake up in the morning and the first thing they do is grab their phone, scroll through bad news, arguments, gossip, and complaints. Then they wonder why their day feels heavy, why they don't have energy, why they feel like nothing good ever happens for them. It's because they're feeding your mind garbage, and your life will always reflect what you feed it. If you feed your mind problems, your life will produce more problems. If you feed your mind possibilities, your life will start creating possibilities. You have to treat your mind like fertile soil. Whatever you plant is going to grow. You can't plant weeds and expect roses. You can't keep replaying your failures and expect your life to turn around. You have to plant seeds of success, seeds of hope, seeds of gratitude. And you have to do it daily, not just when you feel like it. People ask me all the time, Steve, how do I stay motivated? The truth is, I don't stay motivated all the time. I stay disciplined about what I put in my mind. Every day I make sure I'm listening to something that lifts me up. I'm reading something that challenges my thinking. I'm speaking words that affirm where I want to go in life, not where. You got to watch the conversations you entertain. You can't spend hours talking about other people's business and expect your own business to thrive. You can't keep hanging around negative folks thinking their attitude won't rub off on you. It will. The mind is like a sponge. It will soak up whatever you expose it to, whether it's good or bad. And here's the thing. Your mind is not just a container. It's a creator. The thoughts you hold on to shape your emotions. Your emotions shape your actions, and your actions shape your results. If you keep telling yourself you can't do something, your brain will believe you and shut down any ideas to make it happen. But when you start telling yourself you can, even before you figure out how, your brain starts working on ways to make it real. That's why I tell people to speak over their life every morning. Say things like, today is going to be a good day. I am capable. I am blessed. I am worthy of success. It might feel strange at first, but over time, it rewires your mind to believe it. And once your mind believes it, your life starts to reflect it. And don't think for 1 second that this is just some motivational talk. This is how life really works. Everything starts up here first. The success you're chasing, the peace you want, the relationships you dream of, the career you hope to build, they're all seeds planted in your mind long before they show up in your life. Discipline is one of those things everybody says they want until it's time to actually live it. See, discipline is not exciting, it's not flashy, and most of the time it's not even fun. But it's the glue that holds success together. You can have all the talent in the world, you can have the best ideas, you can even get lucky and have opportunities land right in your lap. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. And let me tell you something, there will be a lot more days when you don't feel like it than days when you do. Most people quit, not because they can't do the work, but because they get tired of the grind. They want the reward without the repetition. They want the finish line without running the race. Discipline is getting up when that alarm clock goes off, even when the bed feels like the warmest place on earth. Discipline is saying no to distractions, no to short-term pleasures, and no to people who pull you away from your goals. You have to train yourself to be stronger than your feelings, because feelings are temporary, but results are permanent. Everybody starts motivated. Motivation will get you going, but discipline will keep you going when the excitement is gone. Think about athletes. They don't just show up on game day and hope for the best. They practice day in and day out, sometimes in pain, sometimes in the rain, sometimes when nobody's cheering for them. That's discipline, doing it in private so you can shine in public. And let me be real with you. Discipline will make you unpopular. Not everybody will understand why you can't hang out, why you can't party, why you can't waste time. They'll think you've changed, and they're right. You are changing. You're becoming the person your future needs you to be. But you have to make peace with that. Discipline is also about self-control. It's about resisting the urge to do what's easy and choosing to do what's necessary. Easy will give you comfort now, necessary will give you success later. And you can't have both. This is a price for everything. You either pay the price of discipline now or pay the price of regret later. And I'll tell you something, regret is far more expensive. One of the biggest lies people tell themselves is, I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow is just a trap. Tomorrow turns into next week, next month, next year, and before you know it, you're looking back wishing you had started when you said you would. Discipline means starting now, no matter how small the step. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to commit to showing up every day. And here's the part most people overlook. Discipline compounds. Every small decision you make to do the right thing, every time you choose to grind over the excuse, every time you push yourself a little further, you're building strength. That strength becomes momentum, and that momentum becomes results. And when you start seeing results, you'll thank yourself for not quitting. But you have to get past the stage where it's all about feelings. You're not always going to feel motivated. But if you're disciplined, you'll act anyway. The truth is, discipline doesn't just build success, it builds confidence. When you can trust yourself to follow through, you start believing you can handle anything life throws your way. You stop doubting, you stop hesitating, and you start moving with purpose. That's the power of discipline. It doesn't just change what you do. It changes who you are. Character is something you can't fake for long. You might be able to fool people for a moment. You might be able to put on a show and make folks think you're somebody you're not, but eventually the truth will come out. Who you are when nobody's looking is the real measure of your character. It's not about what you post online. It's about how you act when there's no camera, no audience, no applause. Every single day you are building your character, whether you realize it or not. The choices you make, the way you treat people, the way you keep or break your word, all of that is shaping the kind of person you are becoming. You can't buy character, you can't borrow it, and you can't fake it for long. You have to build it piece by piece, decision by decision. A lot of people think success is just about talent, skills, and opportunities. But I've seen plenty of talented people lose everything because they didn't have the character to keep it. You can get a job through connections, but you'll lose it if people can't trust you. You can start a business, but it will crumble if your word doesn't mean anything. You can get into relationships, but they won't last if you're not honest and dependable. Your reputation might open the first door, but character is what keeps you in the room. The thing about character is that it's tested the most when life gets hard. It's easy to be kind when everyone is treating you well, but can you still be respectful when somebody disrespects you? It's easy to be honest when telling the truth doesn't cost you anything, but can you still tell the truth when it might cost you a deal, an opportunity, or a friendship? Those are the moments that define who you are. Your character is built in the hard moments, in the tough choices, in the times when doing the right thing doesn't benefit you right away. And here's the reality. Character takes years to build, but only seconds to destroy. One wrong decision, one dishonest act, one moment of selfishness can undo years of trust. That's why you have to protect it like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Money comes and goes, opportunities come and go, but once you lose trust, it's hard to get it back. Character is also about how you treat people who can't do anything for you. A lot of folks are nice to the boss, nice to the people they think can help them, but rude to the waiter, rude to the janitor, rude to the person they think doesn't matter. But the truth is, how you treat the so-called small people says more about you than how you treat the important people. Respect doesn't cost a thing, but it tells the world everything about you. Another thing about character, it grows stronger when you own up to your mistakes. Nobody's perfect, and pretending to be perfect doesn't make people respect you. It makes them distrust you. People respect honesty. If you mess up, admit it. If you hurt someone, apologize. If you fall short, own it and make it right. That's not weakness, that's strength. Every day you get a chance to either strengthen your character or weaken it. Every day you're faced with decisions, big and small, that either line up with your values or go against them. And here's the thing, those small decisions matter just as much as the big ones. Cheating a little, lying a little, cutting corners just this once, those are the cracks that grow over time until your whole foundation is shaky. On the other hand, choosing integrity, even in the smallest things, builds a foundation so strong that nothing can shake it. Character is not built by accident. It's built on purpose, day after day, choice after choice, until doing the right thing becomes who you are instead of just something you do. Relationships are one of the most valuable things you can work on every single day, because no matter how smart you are, no matter how talented you are, no matter how much money you make, you can't get through life alone. The people you surround yourself with will either push you forward or pull you back. And every day you are either building stronger connections or letting them fall apart. Too many people only think about relationships when they need something. But real relationships are built long before you ever ask for a favor. They're built through time, through consistency, through showing up for people when they need you, even when there's nothing in it for you. The truth is, people remember how you make them feel more than anything else. You could give somebody advice, you could give them money, you could give them opportunities, but what will stick with them the most is whether you made them feel respected, valued, and appreciated. You don't need to have all the answers to be a good friend, a good partner, or a good family member. Sometimes it's just about listening, being present, and letting people know you care. In a world where everybody's busy, attention is one of the most valuable gifts you can give. Now, building strong relationships doesn't mean you say yes to everyone or let people walk all over you. Part of having healthy relationships is knowing your boundaries and respecting theirs. You have to be intentional about who you give your time and energy to. If someone is constantly negative, constantly draining you, constantly pulling you into drama, you have to ask yourself whether that's a relationship you want to keep investing in. The people closest to you should inspire you, challenge you, and make you want to be better. And you should do the same for them. Relationships also take maintenance, just like a garden. They won't thrive if you ignore them. You can't only call people when you want something. You can't just show up when it's convenient for you. You've got to water those connections. Check on people, celebrate their wins, encourage them when they're struggling, and be consistent. A quick message, a phone call, a visit, it doesn't take much, but it makes a big difference. And here's the thing, when you take care of relationships in the good times, those same people will be there for you in the bad times. One of the biggest mistakes people make is burning bridges too quickly. Sometimes emotions get heated, misunderstandings happen, and pride takes over. Before you cut someone off completely, think about whether the relationship can be repaired. I'm not saying you tolerate disrespect or betrayal, but not every disagreement has to end in separation. Forgiveness is a powerful tool, not just for the other person, but for yourself. Holding on to anger and grudges will weigh you down and keep you from moving forward. Relationships also teach you a lot about yourself. They reveal your patience, your communication skills, your empathy, and even your flaws. The way you handle conflict, the way you support others, the way you respond to their needs. All of that shapes your own growth. If you want better relationships, you have to be willing to work on yourself too. You can't expect loyalty if you're not loyal. You can't expect trust if you're not trustworthy. You can't expect love if you're not willing to give it freely. And finally, never underestimate the power of surrounding yourself with the right people. You can have all the ambition in the world, but if you're surrounded by people who don't believe in you, who doubt you, who try to hold you back, it's going to be that much harder to move forward. On the flip side, when you're surrounded by people who uplift you, who challenge you to aim higher, who believe in your potential even when you doubt yourself, you become unstoppable. Every day you have the choice to build those kinds of relationships, and every day you have the responsibility to be that kind of person for someone else. Faith is one of those things you can't see with your eyes, but you can feel it working in your life when you have it. It's the foundation that holds you steady when everything else around you feels like it's falling apart. There are going to be days when you can't figure out how things are going to work out. When every plan you made seems to be crumbling. When the doors you were counting on slam right in your face, that's when faith steps in. Faith says, I don't know how, but I know it's going to work out. Faith gives you the courage to take the next step when you can't see the whole path. Without it, life will knock you down and keep you there because you'll believe the struggle is permanent. With it, you start to understand that every setback is just a setup for something greater. Every single day, you have to feed your faith. Just like your body needs food, your faith needs fuel. You can't go a whole week without thinking about it and expect it to stay strong. That's why I take time every day to talk to God, to be thankful for what I have and to ask for strength for what's ahead. Gratitude and faith go hand in hand. When you focus on what's good, it's easier to believe more good is coming. Some people wait until a crisis to pray, but if you make it a daily habit, you build a foundation so strong that when trouble comes, you're not scrambling to find hope. You already have it. And faith is also about trust. Trusting that the delay is not a denial. Trusting that when something doesn't go the way you planned, it's because something better is in the works. That's hard to do when you're in the middle of the storm, when you're watching everybody else get their breakthrough while you're still waiting for yours. But faith isn't about what you see. It's about what you believe will happen, even when there's no evidence yet. You've got to remind yourself that timing is everything. And just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't happen at all. And faith is not just sitting still hoping something will change. It's taking action while believing the outcome is already in your favor. You've got to put in the work while trusting God to do his part. Faith without works is just wishful thinking. When you believe you can, you move differently. You speak differently and you show up differently. You stop talking yourself out of the opportunities because you trust that if it's meant for you, You're equipped to handle it. The truth is, life will test your faith. You'll go through seasons where you start questioning everything. Why is it taking so long? Why the struggle is so hard? Why the people you counted on let you down? In those moments, you have to remind yourself of every single time you thought you weren't going to make it, but somehow you did. You have to remember the blessings you didn't see coming, the times when the odds were against you, but you still came out on top. That's proof that you're not doing this life alone, that there's something bigger than you guiding you through. Faith will also change the way you handle fear. Fear will tell you to stay comfortable, to avoid taking risks, to protect yourself from failure. But faith will tell you that the risk is worth it because the reward is greater than the fear. Faith will make you step out even when you're trembling. Faith will make you try again even after you failed before. And every time you act on faith, it grows stronger. Every time you push past fear and choose to believe, you build a track record of trust between you and God. And once you've seen what faith can do in your life, you won't let anything shake. Attitude is one of the most powerful tools you have. And the best part is you get to choose it every single day. You don't always get to choose what happens to you, but you do get to choose how you respond to it. That choice can be the difference between staying stuck and moving forward, between feeling defeated and finding a way to win. Life is going to hit you with challenges, disappointments, and things you didn't see coming. There'll be days when it feels like nothing is going right, when the people you counted on let you down, when the plans you made fall apart. But in those moments, your attitude becomes your lifeline. A positive attitude won't make all your problems disappear, but it will give you the strength and clarity to face them without falling apart. Every day you have to decide whether you're going to let your circumstances control you or you're going to control your mindset. If you wake up already complaining, already expecting the day to be bad, already looking for something to go wrong, you're going to find exactly what you're looking for. On the other hand, if you wake up determined to find something good, to focus on what's possible instead of what's wrong, you'll start to notice opportunities you might have missed before. Your attitude shapes your perspective, and your perspective shapes your reality. People with a strong, positive attitude don't ignore the hard stuff. They just choose not to let it define them. They know that storms don't last forever and that no matter how tough things get, there's always a way forward. They're not blind to problems. They're just committed to finding solutions. That's why so many successful people you meet seem to bounce back so quickly after setbacks. It's not that they never feel frustrated or discouraged. They do, but they make a conscious choice to get up, dust themselves off, and keep moving. That's all attitude. Your attitude also affects the people around you. When you walk into a room with a smile, with confidence, with energy, you lift everyone else up. But when you walk in with negativity, with bitterness, with constant complaints, you drag the whole atmosphere down. People are drawn to those who radiate positivity, not because their lives are perfect, but because they inspire hope that things can get better. That's why I always tell people, your attitude is not just about you. It's about the influence you have on others. Now, choosing a positive attitude doesn't mean you pretend everything is fine when it's not. It's about being real about the situation while still believing you can handle it. It's about finding gratitude in the middle of challenges, because there's always something to be thankful for if you look hard enough. Gratitude fuels a good attitude, and a good attitude fuels resilience. And resilience is what keeps you going when everyone else is quitting. There'll be times when life tests your attitude more than anything else. Times when people misunderstand you, when you're working hard but not seeing results, when you're dealing with problems that seem unfair. Those are the moments when you have to remind yourself that your attitude is the one thing no one can take from you unless you give it away. You have to protect it, guard it, and feed it with positivity every single day. Read things that inspire you. Surround yourself with people who lift you up. Speak words that build your spirit instead of tearing it down. Because at the end of the day, attitude is not about what's happening around you. It's about what's happening inside you. You can have two people go through the exact same situation, and one comes out bitter while the other comes out better. The difference isn't luck. It isn't talent. It's the attitude they chose to carry through it. And when you learn to master your attitude, you master one of the most important keys to living a life that's not just successful, but truly fulfilling.